What's up, friends? You're probably thinking, what the fuck? But today's episode will make sense. I have on a motorcycle enthusiast who is absolutely blowing up in the motorcycle world. Over 100,000 followers on Instagram, millions of views on his reels and TikTok. Fascinating guy. He's got this dark, brooding, cinematic aesthetic that I find really appealing, and I just couldn't wait to have him on. Anyway, this conversation turned out incredible. He's super insightful, very intelligent, and the stories he shared were just hilarious. We are both from very different worlds within the motorcycle community. He's in the sports bike world. I'm in the cafe racer world. So it's really fun to see how these two came together. Anyway, if you are into motorcycles or if you're thinking about motorcycles, you're going to love this episode. I did this one very different to all my other episodes, and I want to present to you guys guests and episodes that I'm really passionate about, things that I love. And I can't wait to present this to you. His name is This Is Mohito. Enjoy. I feel like I'm at one of those table meetings in The Empire Strikes Back and I'm being reprimanded by Vader. And he's about to choke me and I don't even realize it.
You have not made your promises.
I'm actually glad you don't have respiratory problems with that helmet on, because it'll be quite difficult to listen to, but pretty funny to watch as a viewer, I guess.
Yeah.
Sorry, you were saying?
Oh, no, I was like, I love Star Wars. Like, recently I've just been gravitating more and more towards Star Wars, but
of course.
There's this running joke that almost every motorbike rider is obsessed with Anakin Skywalker.
Right.
So, like, the meme is White Monster, Anakin Skywalker, and the gym. So I've got the White Monster, I've got Anakin Skywalker, the gym is next.
That's it. Jim can wait. You know what's funny? Before you came on, today, and I'm so grateful that you said yes. I was thinking to myself about questions that I want to ask, but I was actually thinking to myself questions that I ask myself or just people in general, and that's the trying to explain to them the feeling of owning and being on a motorcycle, just riding and the exhilaration, and for most part, it's cathartic because you literally have to focus on staying alive, right? So you can block out all the noise that's going on in your life, and I mean that's at least what I use riding my motorbike for. I mean, is that the same for you?
Yeah, 100%. But it's quite funny because when I started riding a motorbike, I was just using it to get from A to B because I didn't have a car. Okay. So that was like the motorbike was my step to independence. So like not relying on, our lovely Sydney public transport, as we all know how the trains do these days. So when I first started on two wheels, it was a utilitarian type thing. And the more I kind of rode often, and then I kind of started getting more into motorbikes, and I started going into like, I'd really like something a bit more exotic. And when I started really going into that, I realized it stopped being like, I'm just going to use this to get to work, to being like, I'm actually going to use this to like cool off and, actually feel good and, a little bit of an escape and almost like a mood boost, of course. Just because if there's one way to improve your mood is just get on two wheels.
100%, man. Like, for most people, when it comes to motorcycles, like you said, it's a utility. But then for others, it's almost like a new lease on life. Yeah. When they've come out of maybe a breakup or, I don't know, they just want to feel alive. Like, what was the catalyst for you to go, all right, aside from being a utility, for you to start going, you know what? I'm actually want to make this a thing, like an important part of my life.
It's funny you said that because it was a breakup for me.
Always is, eh?
You just got to find a guy who's got a collection of motorbikes and is just doing the most, like the most edgy things, on Instagram. You're like, that guy has gone through a breakup and now he's just going to be the most badass person he's ever been in his entire life.
Is that like a common thread amongst your community?
well, not personally that I know of, but like on Instagram, you'll see a lot of it. And I personally thought that, oh, maybe it's because, you know, it's a sad world, but apparently, like, you know, pain sells more than happiness is what I've seen.
Yeah, right.
Because a lot of people can relate more to like sadness, but like happiness is just like, oh, that guy's happy, you know? Like, no one shares happiness, but a lot of people share pain.
Because it's probably more relatable.
Yeah.
You know, and people almost don't want to see other people happy.
Yeah, exactly.
If you know what I mean? Because it's too confronting and it's a reminder that, oh, I'm not. That's
yeah.
Yeah, okay. It's interesting that it, like for you, that's kind of how the catalyst for it, and I would imagine it'd be the same for others too. I remember for me, it was more when I first started riding, it was more that I thought it was cool. I was already in a relationship at the time, and I wasn't trying to escape anything, but I just thought it was cool.
It is cool.
It is. It's so cool, right? Yeah, yeah. So I guess it's different for everybody, but I know now, coming out of breakups and whatnot, that's literally the one thing that just I never let go of.
Yeah.
I never sold. I sold one of my bike. I have a new one, but I never got rid of it because I knew that this thing is going to help me through this period.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's interesting. Is that how you found it for you?
Yeah, pretty much. Like, I'm currently, the only bike I sold was the first bike that I had, which was...
What was the first bike you had?
What was that?
What was the first bike you had?
Oh, I had a BMW G310R, which is like a really small, naked styled bike, just a commuter bike. So it was like comfortable to ride. And yeah, it was basically just an A to B bike, you know, nothing crazy about it. It didn't look like, it looked pretty to me at the time. Yeah. But obviously now, my newer bikes that I have right now, I'm a lot more like, these are my babies and I'm not going to sell them.
For sure. Your taste refine the more the deeper you go into it, right?
Yeah, pretty much.
I'm really curious as to like what drew you to that particular motorcycle scene out of all of the scenes. So, you know, like I would imagine around the world it's the same. You've got your sports bike riders.
Yeah.
You've got your Harley riders. You've got your cafe racer riders. You've got your scooter riders. That's the crust of the majority of guys riding motorcycles. And you got the ones who ride the only vintage, you know, and you always see them broken down on the side of the road. Yeah. They've got a pretty incredible toolkit. So of all of those subgenres of motorcycle riders, what was it that like made you go that path to the dark side?
I think it all kind of boils down to it's either like, I know there's so many different types of subcategories, but I would just kind of divide it into two categories, which is, sorry.
Oh, you're right.
My peripheral vision is not doing so great.
Is that GoPro on as well, like with the visual? Because that would be hilarious.
Yeah,
that would have been hilarious.
Seen that.
Send me that. I want to cut to it.
But basically, so I think of the main division is either fast and exotic, or classic vintage. So like in my mind, like even when it comes to cars, I like the fast exotic cars, and the same thing applies to bikes where I like the fast, the fast exotic bikes as well.
Yeah, right.
And that's kind of what I naturally kind of like lean towards to.
Yeah.
And it was basically, even growing up, like I remember watching like motorbikes like on TV. It was always the sports bikes, and I never really remembered any of like the Harleys or the cafes. It was always like the really super sport looking. Like, that's so cool. And I think as I grew older and my interest grew more and more into bikes, I kind of saw the appeal of, sports bikes a lot more. And I think also social media is definitely a heavy influence. But yeah, for me personally, I just kind of, leaned into it.
With the knee down.
No pun intended.
Well, it's funny that you say that, because I think with motorcycles, a lot of it has to do with, how it looks to you, and how it makes you feel when you look at it.
Yeah.
I don't know about you, but when I get off my bike, I'm forever cranking my neck, checking it out, just going,
100%.
damn, that's nice. You know what I mean?
100%.
I think if you don't do that, then you're not really a motorcycle.
Yeah. Oh, even it's like that's
Not
not really
enthusiast.
what
Or
you're
what
happy
you want.
with.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah, that's not really what you want, you know, like cars, bikes. If
Sure.
you're not walking away from your bike or car and you go,
a second and a third glance. 100%, man. I totally get that.
yeah, for sure. Yeah, you need to, yeah. If you're coming back home and you're not taking 3 looks at your car or bike as you're walking away from it,
Yeah.
you don't have the car or bike that you want. And that's the
100%.
truth.
That's it, bro. So, okay, so you started riding. You enjoyed the experience of riding.
Yeah.
Like, what made you want to actually film it and then put it up on YouTube? Because I've watched like some of your videos from the beginning.
Yeah.
And I've seen it go from here to fucking through the roof. Like ridiculous. You have like over 100,000 followers on Instagram.
Yeah.
And some of your videos have hit millions of views.
Yeah.
Like when you first started out, what were you even thinking?
I was just thinking, I like doing this and I want to share it with people. Like,
Right.
I wasn't giving any, attention to the numbers. And I've actually had the same conversation with a few people. And it's like the numbers are a good metric to gauge whether what you're doing is working or not. But if you focus too much on it, you kind of lose track of what kind of brought you there in the first place.
Right.
So it's really important to stay true to yourself. But at the same time, if what you're doing isn't really working and you've done that for an amount of time, then it might be a sign to switch things up to see if something else, ticks.
Yeah, right.
So, yeah.
So did that happen for you? Like when you were watching your metrics and just seeing, how your views were going, was there a point where you thought, okay, I need to change it up now? Like what were you filming before to what you filmed that actually just...
Well, it's actually quite funny because my Instagram account that I have now is actually my personal Instagram account.
Right,
a lot of people, what they do is they have a personal Instagram account and then they have a bike Instagram account. And, there's nothing bad about that. But just for me, what I kind of did, I'm like, okay, if I'm going to be doing this, this is my life. Like, I'm not going to be like, oh, the bike stuff is over there and I'm just kind of doing things over here. No, it's all the one thing.
It's more
and
authentic,
it is me.
right?
What was that?
It's more authentic.
Yeah.
And way more relatable when most people view it exactly like that. Whereas if you're looking at it just this little side hobby thing, it's not really relatable, especially to people who will follow you. Were you following guys doing the same thing? Is that how you decided, I could do that?
Yeah, it's funny that you say that because a couple of friends that I have right now that are close friends are the same friends who have been doing this longer than I have.
Right.
And it was a mix of seeing what they were doing and seeing stuff on YouTube. And I was like, I can do this and I can probably be one of the best people doing it.
Right.
And that's kind of what got me into it. And going back to your question of, did I have to change anything? No. I've pretty much been posting the same style of videos.
Yeah.
The only thing that's kind of changed is, apart from the GoPro POV stuff that I used to mainly post, I do a lot of cinematic shoots.
Yep.
And the cinematic shoots, it's, I'll be honest and say sometimes they don't pull a lot of numbers.
Okay.
But they're actually just for me. I love
they
looking
look
at
insane.
myself. I look like I'm in a movie, on my motorbike, in this helmet.
Right, of course,
when
man.
I'm 60 or 70, I'm like, this is going to be my legacy, bro. Ain't nobody going to be looking as sick as me, in 2025 on 100%. A motorbike, So, yeah, apart from the cinematic stuff, I've just been keeping the GoPro stuff ongoing this whole time. And I've just been doing the same thing. And thankfully for me, it's kind of what has always been working. And it's one of those videos that actually went viral is the GoPro POV footage.
Right. It's all it takes, right? And I think when I watch, your Mr. Beasts and your Colin and Samir channels and that, they all talk about how important it is to be consistent and then just keep pumping out those videos because there will be a point that, people will start to take notice, the algorithm starts to get used to you and, it can then suggest and, you know, if it's going to take off, it's going to take off. But if you're doing you, then you can maintain that. But if you're putting on a persona or if you're trying to be something else,
100%.
it's hard to upkeep. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Really hard to upkeep. So I love that you actually kept it your same personal Instagram and just added to it.
Yeah, that's it. It's funny because I actually right now I have like you know, it's probably one of the other reasons that I got this helmet on is I don't show my face at all. So like even though it's my personal Instagram, it's only my friends that actually personally know me. Like the Instagram is there, but also that's just kind of the level of how personal I want to get online.
Okay.
So I think, everyone has their own thing. You know, a lot of people show their face. I prefer not to. And I think a lot of people can just kind of, I think, relate to it more because they don't know what I look like. Well, a few people actually know what I look like because I do take my helmet off at events.
Right.
And because I'm not going to be an obnoxious guy and just have my event on, I mean, my helmet on for the whole event. Like, I'll take my helmet off.
That would be so hot. You know what I mean? Like, you'd just be steaming in that thing for the whole time.
I'm already
got mad ventilation.
I've been thinking about, like, installing, like, fans and, like, you know, something to, like, make me
you want to
wear
get
this longer.
NASA on that shit, you know? What do your friends, like, what do your close friends think of this persona that you have online? Because, like, when I think about the helmet, it's not unlike the faces everybody puts on for their online presence. Yeah. We all know that most people's online presence is not a representation at all of who they are behind that mask.
Yeah,
so
100%.
So what do you, like, obviously your friends, they mean a lot to you. Yeah. And they would have had some says. Have they all been really positive? They've just been supportive?
My friends, they're all like, he's a crackhead online, he's a crackhead in person.
Hey man, at least you're consistent, right?
You know, it's just like I don't how I behave online is not any less than how I behave in person. Like, if anything, these days you probably got to be a bit more well behaved online. You know,
that's the problem. Actually, you know what? This is why I've done my own podcast. Is that, and I've called it Andre Unchained because I'm not boxed in and I'm not restricted to anything because it's my channel. Do whatever the fuck I want. Say whatever the fuck I want. You know, with respect to people, obviously. Yeah. And have people on like yourself who most people would just go, no. Do you know what I mean? Like, what the fuck?
He's a crackhead.
Yeah. Speaking of crackhead, I remember you had an issue on a military base. All right, like talk about that. Like that was a pretty scary, crazy experience.
That was actually a recent trip to the United States of America.
Oh shit!
So this wasn't even like this wasn't an Australian military base. This was an American.
They're more hardcore. Right?
Yeah, it was actually like I think the correct term is naval station because I remember when that also kind of went semi-viral online, a lot of people corrected me. Like, it's not a military base, it's a naval station. I'm like,
Americans.
It's the same shit to me, bro. Yeah. So what happened was I was trying to see, it was actually marked as a tourist spot in San Diego. This was my trip in San Diego last year in September. And they're like, I'm like, there's a naval station here. Let me go check it out, you know? And then Google Maps or Waze, whatever I was using at the time, they're like, in 20 meters, turn left. And then I turned left, like the reels online, you can see it. I turned left, and then I'm at the entrance of the base, and I'm like, oh shit! I didn't mean to get into the entrance. Right. And like they're checking IDs. They're checking like,
damn, you got that far.
Yeah, they're checking military IDs because you're not allowed to like go in without the right identification.
Close to those places, right?
Sorry, what was that?
You're not even allowed close to those places.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, because like I was like, I turned left and I'm like, well, I can't even make a U-turn now. I'm fucked. But I pulled up and then a military lady there saw me. I just said, hey, I turned in here by mistake. I'm a tourist. She's like, do you have your driver's license? I'm like, here you go. Here's my New South Wales driver's license, baby. So yeah, she's just looking at my Australian driver's license, and then she kind of directed me to the exit. Right. And surprisingly, it was straight in, straight out. I didn't get shot. I was very thankful for that because, you know, America is very famous for
Shoot first, ask questions later, right? But that's great that you got off without a fine or, you know, being reprimanded.
Yeah,
You know,
it was
kinda
probably
crazy over
the
there right
best
now.
outcome that I could hope for, and I was so lucky that I was recording the whole time.
Oh, did you put it up?
Yeah, it's up. It's on my
that's
Instagram.
awesome. Okay, I'll
Yeah,
have to check it out. That's mad. Wow, that's mad.
yeah.
And how was that trip in, like, when you were in the States compared to the culture that we have here in Australia?
Oh man, America is a whole different ball game for like the bike culture, and in a good way. Like
Right.
it's just like I think there's a lot of like negativity surrounding America with their general culture and things like that. Like a lot of people say like, oh, don't go to America, you know, there's a lot of violence or blah, 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 blah. But when I went there for the motorbike trip, I was greeted with nothing but hospitality and friendliness, even on the road. You know, people will be like, yeah, motorbikes, hell yeah, brother. And they'll be like, they'll give you a lot of space on the road
Wow, so
to
they
like
respect it.
split through. Here in Australia, our lanes are really small. No one cares if you're in a motorbike. If you try to split between cars, no one tries to give you any, you know, space. They're just like, I don't know, you're on a motorbike, you know. In America, they'll go out of their way to help you out and things like that. But at the same time, I've seen a lot of videos where it's the opposite end of the spectrum as well, where there's a lot of road rage.
Right.
But thankfully, I had a majority of a positive experience.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah.
Also, too, like you can imagine people online are watching some of these guys do the craziest shit.
Yeah.
Like clocking 200 and something Ks down a freeway in between cars. And I mean, I would imagine that doesn't happen all the time. But, you know, your general viewer would see these things and just think it's like they'll box everybody together. You're riding a sports bike, you crazy maniac. You know what I mean? Like
100%.
That's the thing here in Australia. I feel like when you're on a motorbike, it's almost like they hate you. Like they hate that you're going to get home quicker than they are.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, 100%.
You know, when you're lane filtering. So they just don't want to let you in.
Oh, yeah, 100%.
It's kinda
It's
sad.
like no one
It's sad.
cares.
Did you find like in America, people to be a little bit more supportive?
Oh yeah, like even while on the highway, like people, because their lanes are so big, you can almost
They're
fit
huge.
like two bikes between cars in between two lanes.
Yeah, right.
So when they see you coming, they'll move like in their own lane. They'll move over to give you a lot of space,
That's
and
awesome.
that's not a thing here at all. Like, I think that also partially is because of the laws. Like we're not allowed to pass cars over 30 k's an hour, like in between lanes. That's lane splitting. And
Does your bike even go down to 30 kilometers an hour? Doesn't it start at 50 and up?
It's crazy. Like I remember when I merged on the highway, and I'm like, what speed am I right now?
What were
It's
you
like,
riding there?
Huh?
What did you ride in the States?
Oh,
Did you have to rent a bike or borrow one? Or
I rode a super sport, so I had a Kawasaki ZX-10R, like 2024 edition.
Whoa, nice.
So it was crazy. Like it was really good. I enjoyed riding that bike, and it's like when you merge onto the expressway, you're merging it. Your starting speed is like 130.
Wow, that's hectic.
It's like here, you're like, 70 k's an hour. Don't go higher than 70
Definitely
k's an
a
hour.
nanny state compared to, like at those speeds. All right, let's talk about your new bike. You got a new bike. I never thought you'd get this bike, actually. I used to kind of like work with a friend of mine who owned a motorcycle dealership.
Oh, yeah.
And I got to kind of be exposed to the motorcycle world for quite some time. And it was really fascinating. And I'm also part of that culture with my motorbike and one, and we'll talk about that later. Did you find that, how do I ask this question? Like with the bike that you've purchased right now, in the position that you're in and the trajectory that you were going, did you find that you had to get something powerful in order to get a little bit more respect within the community? Or was that bike that you've got, and I want you to explain to people the bike that you did get, was that the one that you had your heart set on?
It's a bit of both.
Okay.
So the bike that I just bought recently, about 6 months ago, is the BMW S1000RR HB4 competition, and I always had a part of me wanting to buy the old generation of BMW, a Super Sport with the mismatched headlights. There was something about those mismatched headlights that really drew me in, and I'm like, I've never seen any other bike with like a mismatched headlight like that.
Yeah.
And I'm always, it's funny because a lot of my personal taste, I always want something like unique and something that not a lot of people have or not a lot of people generally go for. So I was like, I think one day, it was a one day thing. Like, one day I'll buy an old gen BMW, and then
because you're riding a Daytona, right?
Sorry, what was that?
You were riding a Daytona.
Yeah, I was riding the Daytona. So I have two bikes at the moment, the Daytona and the BMW. But yeah, so when I had the Daytona, I was, just a regular day at work and browsing Facebook Marketplace, as we all do, on a daily basis, where
fucking hourly basis.
even when we don't think of like buying a motorbike, we're just like, what's on the market? What's on the market? And this BMW was there, 2013 HP4 competition with 9,000 kilometers on it.
Crazy.
And I was like, wow. That was my first response, like my first reaction to seeing that. I'm like, I want that.
You're actually lucky that, most of the guys who buy bikes like that, they struggle to want to ride it often because they're super powerful. They're not exactly comfortable. They're best used on the track. Let's be honest.
Yeah.
And for most part, a lot of guys who buy those bikes, and I know it from my experience in the motorcycle industry, a lot of them buy it as an exhilarating feeling.
Yeah.
When they get it, realize, oh my God, it's like near death every time I ride it.
Yeah.
They got kids, whatnot. So they'll ride for a little bit and go, nah. And then they hand it over with very low kilometers.
Yeah.
Which
it's
means
funny you say
you
that.
benefit from that.
Yeah. Because the guy that I bought it off, I'm like, why are you selling it? It's like, I got my first kid on the way with my fiance.
Oh my God. That's the classic. I can't tell you how many ads I see with that. It's the fiance who wants him to get rid of it.
Yeah. So
you gotta live now longer because you're a baby.
So yeah, that's basically what it was. He's like, mate, I've got a kid on the way.
I get it.
And it's like I want someone else to have this. And so yeah, that was basically how that purchase happened. And going back to your original question of whether it's important to have a powerful motorbike, I always explain to everyone like the HB4 or like the most powerful bikes, they're kind of like, if you think of it in terms of a wardrobe, it's like a suit.
Yep.
And, the smaller bikes are like almost like, trackies or shorts or something like that. So when you wear a suit and you go anywhere, everyone's just like, damn, who's that guy in a suit? All eyes on you. You feel really good wearing a suit because you're almost like the best dressed person in pretty much any room. And that's the feeling I get when I ride my HP4. I'm like, damn, I look pretty fucking good on this bike.
Yeah, 100%.
This bike at any given time is the best looking thing on the road, is the fastest thing on the road. And it just makes me feel happy. Like even I don't need to go super fast to feel that happiness, because that happiness just comes from owning and riding the bike and knowing that you're the owner of that bike.
Yeah.
And I think that's kind of like, the whole buying a powerful motorbike.
Yeah.
Because if you have it, it's just more about the feeling you get from having the bike.
It's funny that it also expresses a high level of taste.
Yeah.
Because most people, they don't know about that kind of bike. Could maybe not even afford it or understand its power and harness the power of it as well too. So if you ask, it is a huge flex when you see guys on those bikes.
Yeah.
I mean, my bike, in my sort of world, which is more the cafe racer style world, my bike is like the Aston Martin of motorcycles. It's a Triumph Thruxton RS, and it's beautiful with the fairing and what. It's just so absolutely
good.
beautiful. Yeah, and extremely fast. Like compared to the previous motorcycle that I had, which was a 900cc. And I absolutely love it. I don't max out the power.
Yeah.
I kind of cruise on that thing mostly.
Yeah.
Every now and then, have a little bit of fun.
Yeah.
But it's hard on Sydney roads to really give it for a long stretch, because you just don't know if there's going to be a mobile camera or a police hidden.
Yeah.
You just got to be really careful. So I want to ask you a question. When you go on rides with your mates, do you turn into a different rider?
As opposed to like...
Well, you've got now guys who you can kind of like compete a little bit, show off.
Surprisingly, I'm generally the more reserved rider,
Okay.
like regardless of the bike that I'm on.
Right. Okay.
I find, no offense to my friends, but my friends are kind of crazy on the roads, bro. Like, I'm like, what are you doing, bro? Like, you don't know if any of those cars are cops.
Right,
like, I'm the most paranoid rider and careful rider on Sydney roads. And
yeah, you're on a bike that's probably equally or if not more powerful than this.
Yeah.
Right. Crazy, right?
Yeah.
But that shows restraint. and obviously a genuine care for your own life and longevity and whatnot.
Yeah.
And so when you are with them, do you ever give into that pressure? Because I see it a lot, and I've felt it a lot when I go on rides with my mates, because my mates are crazy. And every now and then, I feel like, all right, if I'm going to keep up with these guys, I'm going to do a little stupid shit. You know what I mean? But always within my skill set, my capabilities as a
obviously,
rider.
it all kind of boils down to ride your own ride.
Yeah.
Like you would have seen that on videos, online. Everyone emphasizes how important it is to ride your own ride, because your actions are your actions. Just because your mate did something and then you did something, like no one's going to care about what your mate did, If your mate started pulling away and you're like, I'm going to race him, and then you drop a gear and hit 200 and highway patrol claps you at 200, he's not going to care about, my mate, was like,
no, he's after you. Also, too, like you might misjudge a turn. You might, I don't know, lean or slip on something on the road.
There's a lot more worse things that can happen
so many
than police pulling you over.
100%.
So, because I've seen that happen personally where in the span of about I think 4 or 5 months, I think I saw 6 to 8 people in my social circle all lose their license.
Wow.
So, and it's funny because I'm not going to name names, but there is there is a video on my Instagram. Yeah. And his name's on the Instagram because he agreed to be a collaborator on that video.
Sure.
But you can literally see him. We were at Lapa, at La Perouse.
Right. Which is a suburb here in Sydney.
Yeah. And he gunned it.
Oof.
I didn't.
Okay.
And Highway Patrol clocked him. We were just having a fun time,
God damn.
We just had a fun time at Lapa. We had a bit of a chat and we were heading back. And then he's like, oh, you know what? I'm just going to send it. And then he sent it and got clocked. And if I was the type of person, we're like, yeah, I'm going to do this because my friend's doing it, I would have been clocked too. And they would have gone my license, You know,
it's a fine line, right? When you think about the whole concept of riding a motorcycle, because part of it is that exhilarating feeling. And for the most part, and I would imagine you would agree, and a lot of other people watching who ride motorcycles, there are literally moments where you've done that and nothing's happened.
Oh, yeah.
You've been fine. No cops. And you just had that exhilarating feeling, All it takes is that one time. But it's almost like if it doesn't happen anytime soon, you're just kind of going to keep doing it.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Until it does.
Yeah.
My fear, or I don't want to, it's a genuine fear, is obviously hurting myself, because like yourself, you've had a lot of guys in your circles lose their license.
Yeah.
I've had guys lose their lives. And I've had guys who have broken hip bones, or just totally destroyed their bodies.
Yeah.
And you know what the funny thing is? Most of them have come back from recovery and bought an even more powerful motorcycle.
You're going to laugh? That was me. That was me last year.
Please tell me the psychology behind? Okay, so you're riding your motorcycle, you come off, you hurt yourself, you injure yourself, you break something, and then you're on this precipice of, I'm never getting a motorcycle again. That's too dangerous. I'm never doing that. So stupid. Or, you know what? I'm gonna get a bigger bike. What was that for you?
It's funny because, like,
what did you do?
When I had an accident. This was before Instagram and all of that.
Right.
Like,
that would have been what, the 1920s?
No.
MySpace days? Was it MySpace days?
No, this is before my personal.
Imagine trying to do this on like LinkedIn back in the day.
Back in
with
my
dial-up.
day.
We used to send it. The only thing we sent was mail.
I had a 2-wheeled chariot. No, this was almost just over a year ago.
Right.
This was on my little BMW, the 310cc, my first bike that I had. I actually had an accident where I went into the back of a truck because I was expecting the truck to keep going through a yellow light, and it didn't go through the yellow light.
Right, stop.
And I didn't have enough stopping power to stop in that distance.
Double Brit discs. And they fucking help, man.
Yeah.
Dude, ABS. Anyway.
So, but yeah, so then basically I actually broke my left wrist.
Wow.
And I didn't really post it on social media or anything like that at the time. I posted like stories here and there, but that was kind of it. And I think it was almost like a wake-up call, I think, because
you can't ride, you can't masturbate. Like, it's the worst.
It was a wake-up call.
Your two favorite things, man.
If I want to start masturbating more...
Dude, that would be like a fucking huge hindrance, right?
No, so it was, it kind of makes you realize what the things are that make you happy in life and the fact that it can get taken away from you in an instant. So instead of pulling you away from the thing that may have caused this injury, but in the grand scheme of things, it brought you countless hours of joy. You can't take away, like, one brief moment in time and completely wipe the whole chapter of beautiful memories it created for you. So in my head, I'm like, look, I'm not going to be around forever. Luckily this time it was just a little broken wrist that I made 100% recovery from. Sure. And I'm just going to keep doing the things that I enjoy, the things that I love. And if buying a 10 times powerful motorbike is going to bring me 10 times more joy, then that's what I'm going to do. That's
what it is, isn't it? You realize just how fragile and how quickly things can be taken away from you.
100%.
And then you give less of a fuck about making these like crazy decisions and thinking long and hard about it and being pragmatic. You lean more into feeling.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, in some aspects in life, leaning more into feeling is a good thing. Sometimes being a bit more pragmatic is a better thing. But if you're a single guy, and you're just like loving life, because that's like pretty much what you're meant to do, is just
exactly
like squeeze every ounce and drop out of life. This is a privilege that we've been given, right? So for you to go after that experience and say, oh, I'm never touching that again, when it brought you so much joy, like you said, you're almost doing yourself a disservice, right?
Yeah, you know what they say, right? Time will pass, whether you like it or not. So how are you going to make it pass?
Yeah, that's right.
Is it going to be doing things you love, or is it going to be hiding in fear, So...
Speaking of which, when you wear your full gear, as opposed to you wearing maybe this that you're wearing right now, just a hoodie, is there a different feeling when you're riding? Are you in more of invincible mode when you're in your full kit, as opposed to this? Are you a little bit more of a conservative rider?
100%. I think so. My riding style doesn't really change, more so my mentality. So I think when I'm in complete full leathers, I do feel a sense of protection. I feel a sense of more, comfort in the fact that if I was to do this and, lean harder, I'm like, if I was to come off, I'm like, I'll be fine. But when you're kind of wearing like no gear at all, I've sometimes just stared at the concrete like flying past you at 80 k's an hour, and I'm just like, man, that would hurt. It's a scary feeling to think about. But yeah, definitely when I am fully geared up, definitely feels a lot more. You feel a lot more protected, and it kind of makes you feel a lot more comfortable. Like if you weren't going to lean as much before, you're probably going to lean a lot more, or at least feel a lot more comfortable doing it. So I guess it does change your riding style a little bit, but not that big of a difference, because then if you're constantly having two completely different riding styles based on what you're wearing, that's a bit sketch. You should.
Look, I myself somewhat modify my riding when I am I don't own a leather suit. It's, that's just my personal choice. And sometimes I'll ride with just a t-shirt on if it's hot, for example.
Yeah, I've done that.
Yeah, and a lot of people do it. People ride on scooters, so it's no different. What goes through my mind is, okay, so I've got quite a lot of ink all over my body, and I think to myself, I'm going to lose a lot of this. That's all I'm worried about.
You're like, my tattoo.
I know. Oh my God, it's on the floor. That's what I'm worried about. But I totally get the mindset shifts when you are wearing full leathers as opposed to just wearing. I always wonder those Harley riders that ride around in shorts. I just go, bro, you know what's even worse? Okay, this is like a pet sort of peeve of mine. When I see guys it's mainly men. They take their kids on their motorbike, and the kid is like wearing shorts.
Yeah,
might be even 10 years old. Like how does that kid have a helmet for starters? And they're on the back in busy traffic. It's always on a scooter. It's very rare you'll find that on like a sports bike or any other kind of motorcycle.
Yeah.
I just think that's fucking stupid, like ridiculously stupid.
Yeah,
putting that young child's life in jeopardy. And then there's the concept of when I see a guy and his girlfriend on a motorcycle or even a sports bike, and she's in like shorts and thongs. I just go, it's kind of like the pot calling kettle black thing when I wear a shirt and I'm riding my motorbike. But I think when you've got somebody else as a pillion, you have a responsibility of at least
100%.
At least telling them, put a jacket on, put some jeans on, at least mitigate some of that skin coming off.
Yeah, for sure.
It's pretty mental. But the thing with the kids thing, for me, that's just dumb. Like, why would you want to shorten?
I've had that. I've funnily had a similar type of conversations with mates, because I had this strong line of thinking where I was thinking like I would never have the love of my life on two wheels.
Wow.
Because
you're already on the love of your life?
That wasn't where I was going, but
what's your other ride?
Okay. I think it's because, as motorbike riders, we all know the risk that comes from riding.
Yeah.
I've personally gone through, 3 surgeries last year.
Yeah.
And it's just one of those things where it's like, it's a dangerous activity. And,
but bro, so is life.
Oh, yeah.
So is life.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, so is life.
Yeah. But I think it's going back to like I'm ready to take those risks against myself. But if I have someone that I really care about, is it really a caring thing to let them take that same risk?
In saying that, does that mean that you don't care about yourself?
Oh.
See what it did there?
That's a deep question.
Well.
That's a deep question.
We got time. I can play some like on hold music while you think about your response.
I think I care about myself, but like you said, life's a risk. And I'm ready to take the risky bets on myself. And if I care about someone, I think every fiber in my body would try and preserve them, you know, to the best of my ability. Like, I wouldn't want anything to harm them. I wouldn't want them to be at risk of any danger. I wouldn't want them to be at risk of any bodily harm. Pretty much everything that comes with riding motorbikes, you know?
But what if she wants to enjoy the experience with you
Yeah.
and share in that moment?
I mean, that's where the whole gear thing comes in, right? You
If
know,
she was wearing gear, head to toe,
Yeah.
in like the best leathers,
head to toe, best
you be
leathers,
okay with
one
that?
piece, the best helmet. And obviously, if I'm riding, I would, you know, be very responsible with, yeah.
Would you consider getting a different motorcycle that isn't in a sports bike position, for example? Because I know this is the challenging part. When you're riding a sports bike, the passenger's elevated, right?
Yeah.
And if they're not holding on with their legs as well,
Yeah.
they're going to slide down on your shoulders at every breaking point, right? And that's
Yeah.
just going to, like, over time, that's going to, like, be
Yeah, exactly.
really frustrating.
That's why you need a Lamborghini. Like,
Of course.
if you don't got a
Oh, dude, that's a
Lamborghini,
perfect
why you got a
response.
girl? You know?
Exactly. Yeah, 100%. Stupid, right?
No, but
makes total
in
sense.
all seriousness, it is, yeah, definitely a different style of motorbike.
Yeah, because if you're on a flatter seat,
yeah,
there's less of that shoulder impact of when you do brake,
Yeah.
of them like hitting you and constantly pushing you into the bars.
yeah,
I found
100%. Yeah, it would definitely be a lot more comfortable.
It is, yeah. And it's more of an enjoyable ride too.
Yeah.
And I think when you're in that riding position on most like more cruisery style of bikes,
Yeah.
you don't want to speed. You want to just enjoy the kind of moment a little bit more kind of thing.
I
You know?
wouldn't mind getting a cruiser just for,
Here we go.
you know, just for the wifey, you know?
See what I
want
just
the
did
wifey
there?
to sit on a couch
I
back
think
there,
I
you
now
know?
pushed you into a Harley.
Huh?
Have I pushed you into a Harley? Could you imagine that? This is Mohito, now Harley rider.
But with the hot ass babe on the back.
I know, but how would your community respond to that? Are you like, okay, so in your community,
Yeah.
how do you guys feel about all these other motorcycle communities?
I mean, I think there is a general, what's the word? Stereotyping of riders.
Sure, yeah.
So even
That's
even,
a real thing, bro.
that's a real
And
thing.
I'll tell you why. Just remind me about the stereotyping. I'll tell you why from like actual personal experience, but continue.
I think like there's been a lot of video. It's similar. It's the whole thing that the stuff you see online.
Yeah.
There's been a lot of videos online where, especially in America, I haven't seen it here in Australia, but I think in America, if you try to pass a Harley rider or a group of Harley riders, they try and stop you from passing.
Right.
So like they're in their lane, you're in your lane, you're not allowed to pass them in your own lane. And it's just like what's happening?
It's your battery.
Yeah.
Don't reveal yourself.
Oh,
Don't reveal yourself.
I thought we were pausing to swap the battery out.
No. We're going to pause. I'm going to continue. We're not pausing. We don't pause in this.
Okay.
But swap the battery.
We're blurring my face out.
Yeah. I'll cut to me on that shot. But we can still talk while you got to do that. Do you have to take it off to change?
No, we can still talk.
Yeah, we'll still talk, and I'll put the camera on me. Go. You go. Do you? Okay.
So I think,
no. Change the battery. Change it.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. I can do that.
Well, okay. So basically, before Mohito came on, I was trying to figure out how are we going to mic this guy. He's got a helmet on, and I don't want the sound to be like totally horrible and muffled the whole time. So we just thought of an innovative way to do it and record it via his GoPro. So mental note for anybody that may do something like this in the future, this was like probably the best option other than like a lav mic or something like that. So that way I get the in-helmet quality on the SD card for the GoPro in conjunction with that SM7B. So getting a little nerdy here, but I'm sure there's going to be people out there that are watching this going, how did they do that? Do you know what I mean? And that's basically it. So I'm hoping that in post, I can make this sound super clear. That's actually going to be a challenge for me to do that because I think we can. I think we can get it sounding pretty dope. But that's what GoPro is that?
The 12. So
GoPro 12?
Not the most recent one, the one before.
Okay, cool. And you've got like a little microphone attached to it.
Yeah, I've got a little Rode.
3 point, yeah, the Rode connection.
The Rode just going into the helmet.
Yeah, sick. So what we're going to do is we talked about this earlier because most of these episodes that I'm doing nowadays, they're averaging like 3 hours, and I love it because we just get deep, right? So I figured if this battery dies again, we're going to take the helmet off, but he's going to keep his balaclava on.
That's correct.
All right. I'll probably give him some sunglasses as well too because he's got to remain anonymous for tax
I
purposes.
have revealed my eyes.
You have yeah. I'm going to
my
cut
eyes.
to me on that, so no one's going to see your eyes. I'll still keep you anonymous because I know the ATO are after you. So while you do that, is there a particular person you want to give a shout out to? I noticed that you're wearing a pretty sick NEXX helmet.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. This is a good opportunity, man. Like
Yeah.
you're sponsored by NEXX, right?
Yeah. So
What is that helmet? That particular helmet you're wearing?
Yes. So I'm an official NEXX ambassador.
Uh-huh.
And I saw this helmet almost a year and a half ago. And
Okay.
I was like, that helmet looks sick.
Yeah.
And I wanted to get that helmet. And basically I got it. And I started making content with that helmet. And I reached out to NEXX because they were launching in Australia. They're a Portugal-based company.
Right.
And they hadn't launched in Australia. So when they decided to launch, they were looking for ambassadors. And that's when I actually reached out to them. They're like, hey, I already have your helmet.
Yeah.
And this is what I do. And they're like, yeah.
That's awesome.
Come on board. And so they welcomed me. And I pretty much have been making content for them, just rocking the NEXX helmet. So shout out NEXX helmets.
Yeah, man. That's good advice to anybody who wants to start their own vlog, that it's possible for you to reach out to these big companies.
Yeah.
Especially if you've got something cool going on, right? They recognize that. I feel like in the creator space now,
Yeah.
a lot of these companies are equally as interested, if not more, in the up and coming, as opposed to the big and established already,
Yeah.
if you know what I mean.
100%.
And so with helmets in particular,
Yeah.
I know with like the helmets that I wear, like this is my helmet here. It's carbon fiber. It's from Premier. Shout out to Gasoline Motor Co for hooking me up with this. It's super light. It looks cool. It's ventilated. I love these kind of helmets. But sports bike helmets, they're on another level of technology. Like that thing at the back of your head, it looks like something H.R. Geiger. You know H.R. Geiger? He's the designer for Aliens.
Oh.
Yes, yeah.
It's funny you say that because all my friends literally go, you look like an alien.
There you go. It looks like he designed that
Like,
helmet.
no joke.
No,
The
right?
first photo shoot I ever did with this helmet, the photographer literally goes, bro, you look like an alien.
Kind of looks like that. Can I tell you something that would be really fucking cool? If you got printed next to NEXX,
Yeah.
minute.
Wait, sorry, say that again.
You know the little symbol NEXX
Yeah.
here? Have minute right next to it.
Oh, yeah.
Huh? I don't know if you were looking at me.
Very nice. Very
Like that
nice
next minute.
observation.
Okay, so let's talk about your vlog, because this is really important, and it's probably the reason why I got you on here, because I want to be exposed to all your fans. No, joking.
Yeah.
But your content is hectic, and see, I really appreciate it because I'm trying to present this podcast in the most amazing light possible that I can provide, visually and audibly. So when I look at your Instagram and the stuff that you put on, it looks like you're spending money or putting a lot of love and care into how it's presented to the world.
100%.
And I remember seeing your first initial offerings into the world. It looked very different. What was it that kind of made you go, okay, I'm taking this seriously?
I think it was just if you're gonna do something, you got to do it the best, you know. Like,
sorry,
and-
before you start, you got something.
Oh yeah, I was saying like if you.
I'm gonna just get this here.
Oh, not bad.
You can't even see what's down there, right? Yeah, go on. So
yeah, I was just saying, if you're gonna do something, and you're gonna have your name against it, it's got to be work that you're proud of, you know. And if you're not putting the best into whatever you're doing, you're never really gonna be proud of it. Like, anyone watching this, think of something that you kind of like or that you kind of do, but you know that you can do it so much better. Would you be proud of the level that you're at right now? The answer is no. You would never be proud of the work that you know has room for improvement. And I think like in terms of the visual quality, that will obviously keep improving with tech.
Yep.
But that being said, like with the current tech right now, I'm probably putting out some of the visually best looking content out there in Australia.
I feel like if you are going to improve, it's going to be very incremental, very small. And it's probably going to be improvements that only you really notice, the nuances of that.
Yeah, exactly.
Because you've already come out at such a high level.
Yeah.
That I would imagine for most people, it seems so far out of reach. But much like what I'm trying to produce here, like if people knew what I'm using as cameras, for most people in like the film world, they'd laugh at me.
Yeah.
But I'm pushing these things to the max and wanting to provide a quality that I know, most people would balk at if they knew what I was using. But the proof is in the pudding, right?
100%.
And so with you and what you're putting out, was a lot of that to do with aligning yourself with the right people?
Yes.
Not just the right gear. Like obviously, you're riding a motorbike. It's hard for you to photograph yourself, right? So you need external parties in order to get and share your vision.
Yeah, 100%.
And so how did that come about for you?
It's funny because one of my really good friends right now, Josh, aka 50 Clicks, he's very well known.
Shout out to Josh, 50 Clicks.
He's very well known on the Sydney scene, and he's probably one of Sydney's, if not Sydney's, top automotive photographer.
Right. He does all your shots.
That was like my first, like when I was deciding like, oh yeah, I'm going to start doing this Instagram thing. That was my first, I booked a shoot with him. And that was back then, we weren't as close as we are now.
Yep.
So, but I kind of knew that he kind of did that. And I liked the quality he was outputting.
Yep.
And I was like, let's set something up. And I've been exclusively, I feel this is a very crude way of saying it, but I've been exclusively using him.
Sure. You partnered with him.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Because I would imagine he'd obviously he'd be really into your vision.
Yeah.
I know when creatives get together, you will get more out of a creative when your visions align.
Yeah.
Compared to what you actually may be paying for or
100%.
You know what I mean? Compared to most people.
Yeah. If
it's not a job.
If both me and the person are excited for the end result, that's the best scenario that you can have. Yeah. And that's kind of what happened. And that's like the photography things, the video things. I actually kind of knew, like, it's all again on social media, like just seeing what what others are doing, the automotive. What's happening on Instagram in Australia. And there was one person whose work that I really liked, and his name is Jesse Jankulovsky or Jay Jankulovsky. Yeah. And he's actually a pretty well-known content creator himself. As I just go to him for most of my videos / anything cinematic that you see on my Instagram is 95% is probably from him. Right.
And is the majority of that his vision that he's elaborating on yours, or is it just all your vision and he's just purely facilitating?
Yeah, so I think
or is it a mix of the two?
It's a bit of a mix. The most recent one that we did, I kind of had this idea of a very like dark, brooding type image that I was going for. And I think like if any of y'all are heavy Instagram users, you would have seen at least, I think maybe 2 to 3 months ago, there was this whole craze of this 21:9 aspect ratio videos that was blowing up. And I was like, I want to do something with that. And I kind of had this idea and I told him like, let's do this. I want to do this. I want to do that. And he's like, perfect. Let's meet here. So it's like, he generally has, being a videographer, he knows a lot of like locations and spots and stuff like that.
Right.
And so, yeah, that's kind of the mixture of my idea and then him kind of bringing it alive.
Yeah, sometimes in those situations with creatives, it's almost like you've got this idea and all you need is that little push. Yeah. And you are that push. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
for him 100%. To go,
oh,
yeah, finally someone I align with. And how do you feel when it comes to mixing things like with YouTube and TikTok? So I'm quite new to this medium. So I'm actually asking you advice here. This is obviously going to live on YouTube.
Yeah.
I know at some point I'm probably going to have to entertain the notion of doing some shorts on TikTok, for example. But for the most part, no, I think you would agree with what you're doing as well too. First and foremost, you're doing it for you.
Yeah.
And then whatever happens outside of that is just butter, right?
Yeah.
It's cream on the pie, so to speak. But having said that, there will come a point where you want to kind of take it to the next level, if you know what I mean, in order for it to reach more people, just purely because you want to share it to more people.
Yeah, 100%.
More or less, and cast that net wide. How do you, I want to say, how do you navigate through these two very different worlds, YouTube and TikTok, two very, very different audiences.
Yeah.
And then let's forget about Instagram. I don't know about you, but I feel like that it's its thing, but it sits in the middle of those two. Those two are the behemoths, right? But they're very different and they've got a very different audience. Like I speak to a lot of people who literally don't watch any YouTube. They just live on TikTok and vice versa.
Yeah.
So how do you navigate through these two mediums, and what kind of successes and failures are you having in each that you could share with me so I can maybe learn?
So off the bat, I'll just say TikTok pretty much hates anything to do with motorbikes because they classify it as a dangerous activity.
What?
So all your videos get blocked.
That's a guideline? Oh my God. We're not in China.
So off the bat, I'm just going to say I prefer Instagram over TikTok.
Damn, man. I didn't know that was a thing.
Yeah. So that's the thing. Like, I mean, this we could probably post on TikTok because I'm not on two wheels. You know, we're just doing a podcast.
Not yet. We're going to bring the bike in. You know what? I rode a motorbike into a nightclub.
Oh, I seen that.
Yeah, man.
That was crazy.
Bro, that was hectic. It was a little bit scary too because the surfaces to get into the club were so uneven. And I was riding a motorbike I've never ridden before. It had forward pegs. Oh, no, sorry, it didn't. No, it was in the middle. But it was a bike that I've never ridden before too. So it was one of those things where if I gave it a little bit too here and it slid underneath me, I'm going to take out all these sexy women in this club.
Yeah.
It was mental, but I loved it. It was awesome.
That was crazy. Yeah, that sounds scary
for me. But so with yourself, TikTok doesn't like motorcycle videos.
Yeah, they don't like the POV style content. Oh. So if they see anything with moving on the road is a big no-no. Wow. But it's really weird because I have a friend from Switzerland. All he posts is like front-on shots. So he has a GoPro in the windscreen of his motorbike pointing back at him. And that's all he posts. And all his TikToks are fine. But the second I post anything, it's just like dangerous activity.
You're posting the road?
Yeah.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Wow, that's so mental.
So yeah, like but the short form versus long form, like the navigation of it, I think it's pretty much you got to use the short form to bring in new audiences.
Yep.
And you got to have the long content on YouTube for your audiences to then go explore you. Because once they find you, they're like, oh, who is this guy? Like, This Is Mohito? The next thing they're going to do is put you in Google, put you in YouTube. And if you don't have content there, you're already losing. Right. So it's very important to have both going at the same time. And that's very hard. Yeah. That's very hard to balance. Like, I'll personally say, I've fallen behind on content, and that's because it's just, sometimes life gets busy.
Well, yeah, man. I mean, I would imagine you've got a day job outside of, this motorcycle influence that you have, and they're two totally separate worlds, right?
Yeah, it's not paying me the full-time bucks, you know? So a lot
Do you know of people in that world that are making really serious coin?
In Australia or
Just
in general?
anywhere, like in
I
any of the
think-
communities from America and here.
Yeah, in America, there's it's a lot more rewarding. So like, for example, in Australia, we don't get paid shit from TikTok.
Right.
So there's people in America making full-time salaries just off of TikTok.
Really?
So when you combine TikTok and YouTube and things like that, you can actually make like a decent coin.
Right. Is
But when
TikTok
it
paying
comes
them,
to
or is it like, are they getting sponsors or something like
no,
that?
that's just from views, paid like views.
So TikTok pays you per view?
In America, yes.
Oh,
Yeah. They don't do that in Australia.
wow. Okay.
So yeah, it's like you can make a lot of money if you're not in Australia. Like I'm sure there might be some other countries with the similar type of restrictions, but if you're in America and you can do this content thing, I say go for it. There's a guy that I know in America. He bought a Ducati off of one video that he posted on TikTok.
Okay. How many views did it get?
That got like, I want to say, I can't remember exactly, but I want to say it was like the tens of 20 million views. So
Mental.
it did well.
Yeah. He was able to buy a whole bike with that.
He bought a whole bike with that.
Dang.
I think he got paid like 30 or 40 grand off of that one viral video on TikTok.
Wow.
And for us, if anything goes viral, it's like we don't even get paid. So yeah,
Look,
so
it's not unlike in the music industry, which I'm a part of as well. You know, you go on Spotify, you're not fairly remunerated for the streams.
yeah, basically TikTok in Australia is like the Spotify for musicians.
Which is really sad to hear because the creator economy is blowing up around the world.
Yeah.
You know, it's literally, you know, its own thing.
Yeah.
And if you got a country that's kind of restricting you from being a part of the economy by taking up this new medium,
Yeah.
it's only going to force you to go to other countries.
Yeah.
Would you consider moving to the States?
Oh, I'm already thinking like I want to move to the States in about the next, I want to give myself a timeline of 3 years.
Okay.
So in about 3 years, I feel like I want to make that move to the States. And I honestly think there's just from the motorbike side of things, there's a lot more fun to be had in the States.
Where would you go?
I think Texas.
Yeah.
Texas, you know?
Right.
They
It's
got
like
big
everyone's going
roads.
there, right? It's crazy. Everyone's moving to Texas.
Yeah.
From LA, they're just retreating.
Texas, yeah. Texas or it's funny, it's like Texas or Vegas. I've heard a lot of good things about Vegas too in terms of just living. But if it's purely for motorbikes, it would have to be Texas.
Yeah. Yeah, Texas, it seems to be one of those places where they just have different laws, just a different way of living. And a lot of people find it really appealing.
Yeah.
It's not like that Wild West impression that we've got here in Australia.
Yeah, exactly.
It's definitely evolved into something different. Yeah, which is interesting. I want to talk to you about, okay, so I would imagine within your community and the people that you meet, because I know it's very similar in, say, the cafe racer community, that you are bringing together people who are kind of experiencing the same things in life in that moment, which is, and the motorcycle is the icebreaker.
Yeah.
Do you find in the communities that you're traveling in, like what's the average age demographic of your sports bike rider? Or
It's
in the
actually,
circles you run?
I think I want to say you have a lot of either like mid to late 20s.
Right.
Or you have a lot of like youngsters, like people that are just like between 18 and 21.
Right.
So those are the communities that I'm a part of.
Okay.
So, yeah, that's just what I've seen, like in Sydney, like, or even in general, like online. I feel like a lot of the guys are around there. A few of like the successful guys are a lot older because I think they're probably a bit more sensible and know what they're doing in life.
Do you think that is part of, I want to say, the challenge of people accepting those communities, because you're getting a lot of these really fearless young guys on extremely powerful motorcycles, all just wanting to flex and compete against one another? Do you feel like that kind of spoils it? You know, there's always a minority that fucks it for everybody.
It's funny. I feel like, you know, most people that are in the game trying to do the content stuff, I think we're all like pretty much friends with each other. I wouldn't say there's any rivalry or anything like that, because at the end of the day, we're all on bikes. We're having a good time. We're just having a good time on our bikes.
I see you guys collaborate a lot. I see it and I love it. It's great that you're so supportive. It's not like, because you know what it's like, content creating is pretty lonely game, right? And then if you've got the opportunity to share that experience with other people that you don't feel like you're competing with, that rising tides, lifts all boats sort of thing. So with the group that you've chosen to be your people, how did that come about? In amongst the sea of guys that you could have joined, there's a lot of motorcycle groups out there. How did you find your people?
It's really funny because my social circle probably all started with the photographer Josh 50 Clicks, because it's really funny because back in the day I used to work at this bar called the Golden Sheaf in Double Bay, and he used to work as a bartender. And back then I didn't know him as like motorbike people. It was just I was doing my own thing. He was doing his own thing.
It's that dirty little secret.
And and it was basically when I decided to get into this whole motorbike thing, I was like, hey, you want to do a photo shoot? Yeah, let's do a photo shoot. And then like, hey, what are you up to? And like, oh, let's do this, let's do that. And then kind of from there, it was like, oh, hey, this is Mohito and this is meet this guy. And like, oh, hey, nice to meet you. And it's just kind of like it's like a chain effect, just like branching out, and you just meet more and more and more people. And you kind of figure out the people that are kind of like more fun to be with or be around, or like the ones that you feel more comfortable around. And you generally get pulled towards that energy. And that's kind of how I found my current social circle that I'm in, is like, these are the people that, accept me for who I am.
Right.
And it's just a good vibes.
Okay. So if you're like a young guy who's just bought a motorbike, and wants to share that experience with people in said communities, what kind of a checklist could you impart with for them to, suss out the people that are, going to be the good dudes, going to be the ones that are going to put you in jeopardy every time you ride together? How do you mitigate the kind of people that you want to let in and surround yourself with?
So in Sydney, we have a couple social riding circles. One of them I think the biggest one is called the Sydney Random Riders.
Sydney Random Riders.
Yeah, that's a big Facebook group. Okay. They host weekly rides. We have another one called the SMCG, which is Sydney Motorcycle Community Group. Okay. They also host weekly rides. And then I think the third and final one that I remember is the Sydney West Riders, SWR. Right. And they also host like rides, like weekly rides. So going to these weekly rides, going to events are probably the best way to introduce yourself, meet with new people, find new people to talk to, and just kind of like see who you vibe with. And you just exchange details, and you're like, hey, going for a ride, do you want to come? Yeah, let's go. And then the more of the natural, interactions that you have, it's kind of the whole thing, the more you put yourself out there, the more opportunities you're going to have with anything. And in this case, I guess, meeting the right people and meeting the right circle.
Yeah. I think people don't understand that riding a bike by yourself is incredible. Yeah. But riding your bike with a mate is equally, if not more fun. You know what I mean?
Like for sure.
It's like when you I don't know if you did this when you were a kid, but riding bicycles and getting lost and just exploring. You know what I mean? It's kind of that same feeling. You feel like you're in a constant Goonies movie. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it's nice to have somebody that you can not only just talk about motorcycles, but life stuff as well too.
Yeah.
Because I know for myself, when I'm on that bike, I start to get introspective. Yeah. Do you know what I mean? You start to think about
100%.
Oh, man.
100%.
You start to think about things, and that's the beauty of being on a motorbike, I guess, because you are literally so focused on staying alive that, other things start to come into the mind. You start to think about life. You start to think about the past and the future and the present and all that sort of stuff. Do you, when you are in these communities, do you often find, and I know sometimes it's just on a ride and you don't really get the opportunity to go deep, but I would imagine that you would connect with people that you could go a little bit deeper than the surface.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah. What do you find is like a common thread amongst some of these young riders?
I think we're all, it's funny because I think a lot of the times, almost every single person that I've spoken to, there's not one single person that I've spoken to who has a motorbike that isn't chasing the best life that they can have.
Right.
And it makes sense. Like, it makes sense. It's like, why do you have a motorbike? Well, it's probably the best way to get around, you know?
Yeah. And also have an exhilarating feeling at the same time.
Exactly. And I think like that ties into the type of person that decides to get on two wheels is like, they have that mentality of, you know, I really want to have, you know, a successful life. I really want to have, you know, a quality life, good life. And that's the common thread that I have seen, like amongst even like just within my social circle is like, we all just want to be, you know, have a good life and do good things and be successful at what we do.
Yeah. Let me ask you a question. And I quite often find that I get kind of like mixed reactions. The nod.
The nod.
The nod. So to anybody out there who doesn't know about the nod, when you're riding a motorcycle and you see another motorcyclist coming towards you, right? There's this moment that you both share of, okay, you get what I get, right? Now, on the odd occasion, I may not get any reaction from people, and I don't know why, for whatever reason, they might not have seen it, but I will always nod.
Yeah.
It's a nod of acknowledgement that we both love the same shit.
That's exactly what it is.
Yeah. And it might be a different motorbike. You know what I mean? You might be on a scooter, you might be on a Harley or whatever. If I'm not into the bike, doesn't matter. It's that nod of acknowledgement.
Yeah.
Do you do that?
Yeah, 100%.
Okay, cool.
I got to be honest, though, I probably don't do it to scooter riders.
Oh, shit.
Scooter, I don't
Why?
know if
Why?
I'm gonna hate,
Why?
I'm going to get hate for this. Scooter riders are like NPCs, bro. Like
About like what?
NPCs, non-playable character.
Oh, my God. Okay, I'm going to push back on that. All right? And I'll tell you why. I have a mate of mine.
Yeah.
He has the most incredible collection of Ducatis,
Okay.
like some very powerful motorcycles.
Yeah.
Got about like 30 of them, right?
Yeah.
His motorbike of choice to pretty much ride everywhere is a scooter.
Yeah, wow.
Now, there's a certain, I want to say, there's a certain power in that, knowing that I'm on this, but I have these. Whereas for most people, they've got that one bike and that's it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So, and he's older, obviously, so that there's definitely a more chill approach to thing and less, I want to say, ego and trying to show off kind of vibe. But you just never know, man. You never know. And
You never know who you're ignoring.
Exactly. And look, scooters can be crazy too, bro.
Ah, yeah. I've seen
Yeah,
the
I've seen some
300cc Vespas.
Bruh. Ridiculous. Yeah. And they can maneuver
Oh, yeah.
very differently to a sports bike or any other kind of motorcycle too. So, I mean, you know, they're on two wheels like you are. I don't know.
No, yeah, I think the generalization that I have is like, if you're getting a scooter, you're just getting a scooter because it's a scooter. You're not getting it because you love motorbikes. But I'm sure there's people that love motorbikes that also get scooters.
Yeah.
So maybe in that sense, there's probably times where I should have nodded at the scooter rider, but I didn't
honestly,
because I looked at him and I'm like, you're a scooter rider.
Judged. Quite often, taking a scooter is a lot easier than getting on your bike, man. Do you know what I mean? Like that thing you just throw into something and just get off and do your thing. And it's, you know what I mean? Like you don't have to suit up and all that sort of stuff. So, yeah, respect to the scooter riders. I've seen, and I love the vintage Vespas.
You know, for all you know, I'd probably get a scooter rider just for just like if I
Never know,
one
man.
day I have a house by the beach, I'm probably getting a scooter.
Really?
Like I'm not
a boat? You want to get a jet ski?
Well, I'll take the scooter to my jet ski and then ride the jet ski in the water.
Shit. All right. Hey, I don't doubt that that's probably going to happen for you. Actually, speaking of which, so man, I clocked you ages ago, like probably a year ago, and I've seen your meteoric rise from hardly any followers
Yeah.
to over 100,000 followers on Instagram,
Yeah.
right? And some of your videos with millions of views.
Yeah.
And like you said initially when we started speaking, you haven't really changed much. If anything, the production value of what you offer has just gone skyrocketed. Do you interact with your followers?
100%.
Okay. And when I say that, do you take on board any comments or criticisms that they might have about what you're doing, or do you just do you and they're just a fly on the wall watching it?
Well, not really, because I'm the best at what I do. Like,
right. That's a great mindset. It is.
I do no wrong.
It's confidence. There's an ego and there's an ego problem. I don't feel like you have an ego problem. So
yeah, I mean, look, if there is a valid point that someone's bringing up and being like, hey, maybe your mic doesn't sound as great, or oh, maybe your camera looks a bit shit in this, then I'll probably take it on board. But to this day, I have not received a single critique about my production value or the content quality.
Right.
So at most, the stuff that you'll see would probably be someone just hating
Trolls.
the fact that I'm just a silly little guy on a motorbike, like with a crazy laugh. Like, what kind of laugh is that, bro?
Yeah, that's your signature.
Like,
That's
why does the guy
infectious, bro.
laugh like that? That's
It's
probably
infectious.
the only critique I get.
So you've got somewhat of an American accent.
I do, yes.
Yeah. So I'm assuming it's not American because it doesn't quite sound American. Like, do people know? And are we allowed to talk about your background?
Well, it's funny because I don't like, my background's actually secret, like online.
Cool. Right.
But I will say I'm not American.
Okay.
But I will also say I've probably watched thousands of American movies, which is where this accent comes from.
Right. Okay.
But that's all. That's all I'm gonna say. You know,
okay.
if you wanna find out more,
maybe we'll do an episode.
My DMs, baby. No.
You're using this to pick up chicks, right? Speaking of which, are there a lot of women in the sports bike motorcycle scene?
There is I want to say a ratio.
Okay.
So there are women.
Are those ratios off?
Huh?
Are those ratios off?
Well, it's just from my experience, from what I've seen, there's probably not as many women as there are men.
Okay.
In the bike scene, but there definitely are women. And I also want to say, like, if you're trying to get into bikes just so you can impress women, trust me, you're probably just going to impress a bunch of guys.
Yeah, that's right. You know what's funny? I rode with this girl a while back, and she has written on her motorcycle, "You just got passed by a girl."
That's beautiful.
She's an incredible rider. There are some amazing female riders out there.
Oh yeah, there's some talented female riders out there.
Yeah, and it's always whenever I do meet women who ride motorcycles, any type of motorcycle, there's almost like you know what I mean? Like, there's something extra about them that's just like, wow, because we know the feeling, and then for them to want to embrace that fear and take on a motorcycle, because it's not just a masculine thing to do, right? It's
100%.
Do you encourage more women to get into riding motorcycles and appreciating the community? Because that would be really important, especially with a community that's full of guys.
Yeah, I think for me, I'll be honest, I don't actively go out of my way to be like, girls should ride motorbikes, because I don't even think that there should be any type of restrictions. I just think it's an open hobby that's open to everyone. So I feel like even by saying that, it might come off as like, oh, this is our thing. You guys should join in. Like, that's completely not the case.
Yeah.
It's just, riding bikes is just riding bikes. And whether you're a guy or a girl or anything like that, just I welcome you guys into the world of motorbikes. And I think everyone, if you can afford to buy a motorbike and you're interested in riding a motorbike, definitely, get on board. And
100%. I'm a huge advocate. Wow, man. And so I guess your battery's going to die soon. We've clocked an hour and a half, man.
Yeah, wow.
This is awesome. This is really cool. I'm actually loving this whole concept of long form content because I just can't talk for half an hour.
Yeah.
You scratch the surface. You just don't get to get deep.
On the topic of hitting this 1.5 hour, I think I probably do want to take this helmet off because I'm getting toasty.
You're getting toasty? All right, okay.
So we might do
So what do you want to do? You want to continue or do you want to just leave it at that? Because if you take that off, we're going to
reveal the eyes.
We're going to, you know what? I'm going to have you back on. I'm actually going to have you back on with some of your friends.
Oh.
And you're all going to wear helmets. Yes, because I love this. It's awesome. And we're all going to have a conversation amongst ourselves about similar topics and things that you guys talk about when you go on rides. You know, I want people to be exposed. One of the reasons why I'm doing this is because I want to share the things that I love to the world. This is not things that I just think, oh, this might be cool to have on. Genuinely, every person I have on this podcast is a part of something that I feel really passionate about or that
that's awesome.
That I'm really curious about, that, I share a common love of what it is they do, and there's a respect and so I'd love to have you back on, man. This has been awesome.
Yeah, so sick.
I don't want you to take off your helmet because I want to keep that allure. You know what I'm saying? I want people to wonder what the fuck.
Well, thank you for having me on.
My pleasure, man. But if there is one last thing before you do steam up in that helmet that you want to impart on this episode in particular, where next for you?
Wait, sorry, what was the question?
Where next for you?
For me.
You see what I did there? Yeah. What's next?
I think I definitely want to expand on YouTube this year a lot more. I want to start posting more YouTube content, kind of giving not only my followers, but also just anyone else that's out of Australia, just into a little glimpse into the Australian world of, riding motorbikes and going to meets and things like that. And, hopefully another exciting motorbike at the end of the year. I'm planning on a little purchase. I'm planning towards it. So
fuck, where are you going to go from that BMW, man?
There's only one other motorbike that's
dragster.
What was that?
A dragster?
A what?
The MV Agusta.
MV Agusta. Ooh, the MV Agustas are.
You're talking about bikes that not everybody is into or gets.
That is nice. That's not what I was thinking about, though. Okay. But I will take it into consideration. But you guys will just have to stick around and wait for the reveal. So if you wanna be the first to know of this next bike that comes by, hit the socials. Doing a little plug here.
What are your socials?
Hit my socials on This Is Mohito.
This Is Mohito.
That's it.
And This Is Mohito. Is that what your YouTube channel is?
Yeah, everything is just This Is Mohito. You can find me on This Is Mohito everywhere on pretty much YouTube, TikTok, Instagram.
Yeah.
That's basically
one last question. Why Mohito?
Well, my actual name is Mohit. So all my friends,
the gods,
call me Mo, or they call me Mohito.
Okay,
so
cool.
When I was picking my name for content, I'm like, Mohito just seems the most
name.
natural.
Yeah, it's funny. It's great. I love it.
Yeah.
Fuck, man. Thanks, man. This has been awesome.
Yeah, no, thank you. Thank you for having me, and I can't wait for part 2.
Part 2, we're going to talk about this new motorcycle and maybe bring some of your friends on too.
Yeah, for sure.
Wow. Maybe bring one of the female riders on too. I'd love to get their perspectives.
Yeah, that would be an interesting one.
Bro, that was mad.
Yeah.
Holy shit. Oh, damn, man. You can take that helmet off now.